say hello as you join the conversation. Let's see how this one goes. Yep, that one. Please. That one's going to take a little bit too long to do the chats here. All right, we're live here. Let's just see if the LinkedIn chats come through here. All right, a little bit of a bad signal going on here. All right, we're going to pause this one. We got a little, oh, why is the bad signal? Okay, the bad signal is coming. All right, now it's coming through a little bit nicely. Let's just see if we get it here. Come on, add some comments in here. All right, let's get this added here. Just get it started. Please say hello as you join the room. All right, I think it's getting the otter going live. All right, my comments are not coming through. Lee Smallwood joined as a listener. Welcome, Lee. Please, if you'd like to come on live, you're more than welcome to. Invite as a speaker. We are in a live podcast before I bring you on here, so just want to make sure that's okay with you, Lee, before I bring you on here. I will bring you on and see if it's okay, but you are being recorded live. Oh, let's bring you on. Here we go. Raise hands. Lee is on. How are you? Can you hear me okay? Oop. Lee is now a speaker.
I can hear you. Where are we going to go live
to? How are you? So you mind this being recorded? We're live on LinkedIn Live and Twitter and a bunch of other places. You okay being recorded?
What's up? What's up, LinkedIn? What's up, Twitter? Doing good, man. I'm here in the UK, 11 p.m., but always time for a brainstorm with you, my friend.
Excellent. You want to share a little bit about who you are and what you're up to?
Sure. Wow. This is caught me off guard a bit. So yeah, work at Citi, COO of markets in North America, based in the US, but currently in the UK, which is where I'm from. But that's the boring stuff. Interested to talk with people about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is a big passion, about chess, which is a new passion after watching Queen's Gambit along with 63 million other people, and generally just interesting ideas and things like this.
So talk to us a little bit about, well, first of all, let's, I guess for the wider audience, I was going to get into the chess stuff really quickly. Why don't you talk a little bit about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what your passion is around that and why you care about it?
Lifelong martial artist, started freestyle karate, kickboxing at the age of 6, did that for about 10 years. Left the combat sports behind for a little bit, got attracted by UFC and mixed martial arts in maybe about 7 or 8 years ago. Didn't know anything about grappling or the ground arts, and then I think I watched a couple of things, UFC 1 and the Hickson Gracie documentary Choke, and was convinced to go for a trial class. I did a 2-class trial at Shaolin's in New York and got addicted instantly and was going 4 or 5 times a week from that first class, and unfortunately due to COVID haven't trained in a year now, so that's been very depressing. But outside of that, probably the biggest passion that I have.
Excellent. So let me ask you a question. I'm reading Ultra Learning right now, so any thoughts about getting back into it, being out for a year and being able to get back into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or anything after a year of training? Any thoughts on that or ways to be able to on-ramp back in again?
That is a great question that I haven't given enough thought to. Definitely, I think video content is underrated. I do think it helps develop muscle memory. So I think it's just hard to watch a lot of video tutorials when you're not actually training. So I think once I start training, I'll start watching a lot of video tutorials again. I often take notes after class, or at least I used to. So I'll probably start doing that again. But I just need to roll. Like, I need to spar, get back in there and see what still works and what doesn't. It's a little bit hard because I don't know what I've forgotten yet. So the first week will just be experimentation. And then from there, we'll put the same sort of detailed, accelerated learning plan back together.
Awesome. All right. So perfect. Do you want to tell us a little bit about chess and kind of your new interest in chess?
I haven't got much to tell. I'm an absolute beginner. I think I was in chess club at the age of 8 or 7 at my first school, and I haven't really played since. But like I say, I watched Queen's Gambit, thought it was awesome, and I've just started playing a little bit on chess.com. So my username on chess.com app is Smalls Gambit. So welcome and happy to play anyone who's interested.
Okay. So probably I think most people are going to see this. Tell me again what it is. What's the name of the site?
It's just chess.com, and they have an app, and you can just connect with anyone, chat on the app, play on the app. It's pretty brilliant. Actually, if you Google it, there's an article on Bloomberg that chess.com has been around for decades, I think, but they've had an unsurprising but phenomenal upsurge in usage.
Awesome.
And they're doing really well as a business. But yeah, that's where I'm playing my chess right now.
Excellent. And Shira just joined as well. So let me see if she can come on and bring her on here for a second. So I'll add you here. Hello. Oh, Shira, can you hear me? Before you say anything, we are recording this live. You okay being recorded?
I'm okay being recorded.
All right, awesome. So let me just follow up one conversation with Lee, who you may or may not have met in the past before. Lee, tell me again what your handle is on chess.com.
Smalls Gambit.
Smalls Gambit. Got it. Post. Okay, perfect. Uh-oh, Ben just joined us. Let's bring him on here real quick, and let's. Okay, how do I get Ben?
With no offense to Ben, who I love dearly, I'm going to hand out to these two more impressive individuals than me. Good to speak to you, Justin.
I would take it personally. All right, we got thanks a lot, Lee. So we got chess.com, Smalls Gambit. Please let me know how many people we have actually said there. So Shira, welcome. Why don't you let us know a little bit about who you are and what you're up to?
Thanks. I'm excited to be here. I'm always down for a collective brainstorm. I feel like that's my sweet spot.
Yes.
So I work at Citi, SVP of Brand Innovation, and really when I think of innovation, I think about how can I collaborate, how can I work better together with my colleagues and external partners to think about how we can move things forward in a positive way for ourselves, for our teams, organizations, cities, worlds, all of that. I think really what it is just like, how can we generate new business where it hasn't existed before and work in a way where we find more meaning and happiness and all of that. So that's what I've been like noodling on these days.
Excellent. So how can we generate new business in a way that brings more happiness? Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you're working in, regardless of what industry you're in, if you can think of something new to do that provides more meaning to you, meaning feeling like you feel fulfilled in what you're doing, happiness not in terms of just like laughter, but just in terms of enjoyment of making this world a better place for ourselves, families, each other, all of that. I mean, I think that feels so appealing, and maybe that's just a counterpoint to the experience we've had this past year, but I feel like that can never be the wrong direction to move in. And so, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So bringing a little bit of happiness. I'm just seeing for a second, the screen is frozen here. So do you have some examples of like where you've kind of seen that like in reality?
I mean, I think that just having conversation with people and being transparent and wanting to always help others succeed. I've seen people just transform, and they're so shocked by that. Like, that it's not about wanting to get something out of a conversation with somebody else, but it's about really trying to understand what they do to then be able to say like, okay, well, I have expertise in this and I think I could help you with this, or I have a contact here, and really wanting to have it all be about trying to figure out a way to support and help. I think that has like changed and if this is like in one-on-one conversations, that's like transformed the way people think about what's possible for how they could work, and having it be just a little bit more fulfilling and supportive of the people around them, and less competitive. And maybe that's a little bit naive, and maybe you're catching me on like a night where I feel like that's still possible, but if everybody were to be operating that way, it just feels like this world would be a little bit better of a place, hence a little bit happier.
So yeah, if we start kind of with the concept of what's possible, I remember one of our original conversations, it was like we believe that work can potentially kind of transform the ways that we operate and kind of the way that that the world works. And I remember it was one of the first things, and we talk about, you said like naive, but I'm wondering, like, it feels like up until this year, and I don't know if this year is totally different, but up until this year, that was an optional. It feels like that naivety that you talk about and bring ourselves to work feels like a requirement these days. So yeah, very interesting concept. So what is it, anything as far as content that you're looking at right now? Is there something that you're reading that you're excited about, podcasts that you're listening to, little tips for things that you might be interested in?
Good question. I mean, I've been like trying to like lay off the like news recently, and so I haven't been consuming much content. But I have been on Clubhouse.
Yes.
And it is so interesting because I think that maybe not every room, but I think that the transparency of conversation and the desire to kind of like send the elevator down for those who are just starting so they aren't having missteps in your industry, or wanting to share tips and wanting to learn from others. Like all of that is happening here, and now there's access to those conversations and it feels like there's like this like supportive, like wanting to create this world, which I've been like wanting to be a part of, just in terms of why can't everybody just help each other out? Like it doesn't like take away from you. Like it's not, we would just be like expanding the pie or some like analogy like that. So I think that Clubhouse has been really interesting in that. And also there's just so much to learn about how other industries work, but yet there's so much similarity in terms of just historical institutional barriers that are set up that make it very challenging for people to navigate. And so I don't know. So Clubhouse has been really interesting. Anything else?
Can you say a little bit about what Clubhouse is, maybe? Can you say a little about what Clubhouse is?
What is Clubhouse?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know how they describe themselves, but
how would you describe it?
Yeah, my experience is just like access to conversations, and sometimes I participate and sometimes I just want to listen, and it feels like an ongoing conference where you are constantly going to different panels to some extent, but you're able to participate. You're not always just like in the audience, and there is very much a business like work component associated with it, because you can see what people do. They are connected to their public profiles on social media. You can look them up. You can connect with them off of the app. And so I just feel like it's a way to learn a lot about specific topics, but also to present your expertise on different topics for people that you would never be exposed to before. And so if you're into chatting, I think that Clubhouse is your jam.
Yeah. And you came in through Clubhouse through the session today, which is like really interesting. Just for anybody, how did you find out that this was actually happening?
Got it. So I follow you.
Yes.
And I have it as a setting where, like, if you are in a room, I think, like, if you're in a room or you started something, I get a notification, and I saw you were starting this, like, collective brainstorm, and I was like, I'm always down for a collective brainstorm with Justin. So I was notified that it was happening, and then I was going to make dinner for my kids, but I thought that this sounded more fun.
Yes. So awesome. Yeah. So just, the whole room, and just to give a little bit of context, and I see Matt Weber had just joined. I don't know if Matt's on Clubhouse yet, but if you are, Matt, if you'd like to come on, you're welcome to join us on Clubhouse directly. If not, we'll have a way to be able to dial in for future sessions. But it's right. We just went live. I was going to take the dog out for a walk, and we were having some dinner. I was like, let me just go live and have this conversation. I launched a Clubhouse room, and Shira joined in, and that's and that's how we got here. And that's the whole idea of just to have this: who's here is here, who's not here is not here. And we have these opportunities to be able to have serendipity. So the tech is a little bit crazy these days, because don't have that quite figured out, perfectly yet. But so Shira just wasn't planned to be on here today, and here she is on the session. So Shira, we want to let you get back to the dinner or whatever it is that you were working on before. Any parting words or any thoughts that you wanted to leave?
No. Where can I find the recording? What's the other are you dual is this being what's the other platform or technology that you're using besides Clubhouse? Perfect.
Yeah. So it's on LinkedIn Live right now. So we're going on to LinkedIn right now, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch as we speak. So it's live on all those platforms right now.
Cool. You've got it covered.
Yes, I got it covered. Yeah, so the best place is LinkedIn. And so as you were talking, you can see the video of these pieces. Originally, how it's supposed to be, would like to try Clubhouse soon. Awesome, Matt, I saw that. I just saw a note that came in that I can't read right now from Ben. If it's something that I should be reading. Shoot, Ben, I don't know where I can get that comment in here. I'll check it in a second. I see the comment. I see a comment coming in that might be helpful for this conversation. So yeah, we're on LinkedIn right now. The idea is we should have a screen share. Should have a screen share here in LinkedIn, and you should be able to see you in Clubhouse. Unfortunately, that screen froze. And so we also have this running on Otter in the background. So yeah, running in a couple of different places. Yeah. So thanks so much for coming on. Let me just wait a second before you go. Oh shoot, that would have come in over the chat, actually, those messages. Now I'm seeing this. I was getting, but Clubhouse doesn't each. I'm seeing now, I don't have my text messages turned off. So I'm hoping these text messages that are coming in aren't going to be problematic. So another little tech thing to be able to check out. But Shira, thank you so much for coming on today. And for everybody else, we do appreciate you coming into the session, and have an amazing day. Thanks a lot for coming, Shira. Thanks a lot, Lee, for joining. And thanks, Ben, for joining in Clubhouse. Have an amazing day.